Hey folks, how y'all doing? Happy Thursday to you. Y'all ready to buy that building today? If you are, we have building specialists downstairs waiting for you to call. Let's go over, we got a good show today. Let's go over a few things. As always, we like to start this show off with $500 discount every week. Military personnel, healthcare workers, educators, and first responders. If you're one of those people and looking for a building, make sure you get that extra $500 off. Also, if you want to upgrade to the Signature or Elite building, which is the best in the business, type in cash to one of these live feeds just like this one, and you get an extra $1,000 off. Okay? Referral program. So if you know somebody out there looking for a building, refer them over to us. If they buy a building, we'll give you $200. And we'll do that as many times as you want. This is real. We give money every week. We got them all over the place. So if you know somebody looking for a building, refer us over to Mallett, and we'll give you a $200 check once they purchase. Okay, about Mallett. If you haven't already, we like to go over this every day because we're very proud of this. Over 26 years delivering custom designs, post-frame buildings. We've been here 26 years, folks. What does that tell you? We're going to be here for the long haul. We're constantly, and we're not just a company that's been doing the same thing for 26 years. We are constantly improving our processes. Always talking about how to improve our building to benefit our customers, which is you. That's why we are the best in the business. So, licensure, we're fully licensed for commercial and residential projects. You can hire us. We don't just build your building. If you want to hire us to be the contractor on record, we can most certainly do that for you. Reputation you can trust. No, we have no contractor violations. We've got over 500 reviews with the BBB and Google. We're very proud of that. And so we're very community oriented. You know, Lee likes to give back to the community. We're locally owned right here in Iowa, Louisiana. And like I said, we give back to the community. We can't put everything that we do, but we do. Lee contributes to all these people every year. I personally went on a few of these places with him, along with some co-workers, and it's amazing the money that he gives back. It's truly amazing, and I'm proud of that. And not only for our local community, but our state too, as well. So, guaranteed quality. Here at Mallett, we do nothing but quality, even with our low-end buildings that we call Value Series. That is still light years ahead of our competition, people. So we only use #1 kiln-dried lumber. I spoke a little bit about that yesterday, why that's important. Lumber with lifetime warranty on termites, rot, and fungal decay, and of course rust, okay? Customer first approach, personalized service from concept to completion, all right? Advanced 3D modeling. We would like you to go and check out our 3D model tool online. It's pretty easy to deal with. You can design your building there and then push click, and then to go to our building specialist and they'll get you a quote. All right, building options. As you know, we got the value, Signature, and Elite. Okay. Let's go over a few Elite specials we got right now. You got a 30 by 50 by 12 for $43,998. You got a 40 by 50 by 12 for $53,950. You got a 40 by 60 by 12 for $61,598. This is the best building in the country, folks, hands down. Okay. Now we got kind of a long show for you, an interesting show. So I'm going to speed up some of these things that we go over every day. In the value building, like I said, is way better than our competition. The 5 takeaways: kiln-dried, MCA-treated lumber. Make sure that our competitors are doing that, okay? We give you a spec sheet to do it. 4-inch, 4,000 PSI concrete, 33% stronger than what our competitors use. Plus, when you add the microfiber in it strengthens through the whole volume of the concrete. All right, engineered cable retention system. Nobody does that. This is what I talked about yesterday, where we tie in all of our posts, and it is tremendous the way it helps with the uplift. They'd have to take the whole concrete up to get your building up. All right, concrete under every post. That's very, very important. It acts like a pad. Okay, 2x6 scissor truss on the value building, standard. Okay, that makes this building 135 mile an hour wind load, and also, you know, we are a licensed professional engineer firm. Okay, signature series, everything you got with the value, but you upgrade to a 2x8 scissor truss. You get a 5-on-12 roof pitch. Of course, all buildings come standard 26 gauge metal. Our competitors don't do that. Roof and wall insulation on the signature. You still get the 4-inch, 4,000 PSI concrete. You got two 10x10 roll-up doors. You got a 6-year workmanship warranty, and of course everything else that comes with the value. Now the Elite, nobody else does this. We're going to add all that. We're going to tighten up your truss spacing and your post spacing. That's going to give you 145 mile an hour wind load on this building. Best building in the industry. We're going to give you gutters and gutter brushes. That is $20 to $25 value all the way around your building, linear foot. Calculate that. We throw that in. Post protectors. I'll show you why that's important in a future slide coming up. We give you that on this building. Insulated windows on this building. We give it to you. Continuous ridge vents, wainscot. That brings this building up to 145 mile an hour wind load, folks. Best building in the industry. Superior quality is here at Mallett, okay? Now, let's get into it. Licensing. We are a licensed professional engineer firm. This is one of the many differences that separates us from our competition, all right? The importance of having a licensed professional engineer firm. Let's see what you've got. Structural integrity and safety assurance. Engineered plans, safety bills. A licensed engineer ensures that each structure is designed to meet local wind, snow, and load-bearing requirements, especially in critical storm-prone areas, just like we are in here. Reviews, adapt, and improve. In-house engineer reviews, adapts, and approves every project, prevent under engineered failures common in companies that outsource stamps. So what we're trying to say here is everything's done in-house, okay? We have a firm here. You met Daryl. We don't send our plans to get third-party stamps that they might not look at. They might just stamp. It's going to cost you more to do that. So that's important, okay? Faster turnaround. I just kind of spoke on that. So they're going to send it out, and sometimes you wait 2 or 3 weeks before an outsourced engineer firm will look at those plans and stamp them for you. We have the ability to really look at your plans like they should and make sure that they're going to be meet all the codes for you, okay? Cost and control of customization. Of course, overhead cost and more competitive pricing. Why is that a fact? Well, because we have engineers on staff. Again, we do not have to hire a third-party company to stamp our plans. Our competitors will have to hire a third-party company to stamp your plans. And hopefully, they're not just stamping them, they're actually reading them and making sure that it's going to benefit you, okay? Competitive edge and customer confidence. Instant credibility. Being a licensed engineer firm builds instant credibility with cities, inspectors, and customers. So it says something, folks, whenever we design our own buildings here, we stamp our own plans. You know, the permit offices know that we do that and know that we don't outsource our plans. That's very important. It might not seem like that big of a deal, but they know that we are professional at what we do, okay? So compliance and legal protection, state and local building codes. In-house engineers ensure your designs meet state and local building codes, reducing risks of failed inspections, lawsuits, and forced the rebuild. You know, if somebody goes out, if a building inspector goes out there and you hire somebody that don't really know what they're doing or not responsible enough to build your building, they can shut the project down and make you take down the building. So it's very important that you pick a company that knows how to get around this stuff and knows the right avenues to take. All right? Reliance in extreme conditions, region-specific risks. A company with in-house engineer and design for region-specific risks like hurricanes, floods. You know, we're in a hurricane environment, folks. We live way down here south, and it's very important that you design your building. That's why Lee invented, you know, the cable retention system to help with this uplift. Yesterday, you heard our engineer tell a story about a place in Cameron after the storms. Well, we had a couple of places. You know, Darla Cays is one of them. If you know where that's at, it was still standing after the storm. So it's very important. Okay, just like these, we were staying. We went through all these hurricanes and never lost a building. All right, how to spot. Now here's what I like. We got something interesting here. This is where I wanted to get. I sped through the engineering thing, which is very important. I didn't mean to, but I wanted to focus on this. How to spot cheap, low-quality post-frame buildings, okay? So, why this matters. Many contractors cut corners to lower costs, but you pay for it later. Low-quality materials and poor workmanship can lead to structural failure, higher maintenance costs, shorter lifespans. Knowing what to look for saves you time and money. This is what we try to teach you folks. This is why we get up here every day on live to try to instill some knowledge in you so you can understand post-frame construction. So when you buy your building, you're not just taking somebody's word for it, okay? Look out for inferior wood and posts. What to look for. Cheap buildings use untreated or poorly treated wood. Low quality contractors may use undersized posts, 5x5s instead of 6x6s. Or maybe they might use 4x4s. I don't know. Tip, always ask if the wood is MCA treated for ground treat. So basically, folks, you know, it kind of goes back to what I said yesterday. So they may tell you that, yes, our buildings are treated, but you have to take that a step forward, further. What kind of treatment? You know, because it needs to be MCA treated, okay? Inferior wooden posts, you could have some of this, and this is what you don't want to happen to you. This is non-treated post. And believe it or not, folks, we've got a lot of people that still use this. You see? This is what we do. We use all dimensional lumber, 6x6 posts. Everything throughout our building is #1 kiln-dried lumber, and you'll have a stamp on this. Also, we use post protectors. So, and we're going to embed that 3 to 4 foot in the ground. This is what a post protector looks like. All right. Look out for poor foundations. What to look for. Inadequate posts embedded should be at least 3 to 4 foot in the ground, just like I said. Lack of proper concrete footings or gravel base. That's why I always point out that we put 80 pounds of dry packed concrete at the bottom of every hole underneath our post. Helps as a footing. Our competitors don't do that, folks. That's very important. That's one of the things that you definitely should know. Why does it matter? Shallow posts lead to shifting, sinking, and instability, okay? So this is a picture that we require our builders, when they're on site building your building, we require them to send us a picture, not only of the depth, and you can see the kind of smokiness coming out. That means that they just poured an 80-pound bag of dry packed concrete, which has got a lot of aggregate in it. It's going to harden over overnight, but it doesn't, you know, the dry pack, and you can see that we make them show us the depth. We want to ensure that we build the quality building like we say we do. All right, look out for weak or improperly spaced truss. What to look for. Cheap builder space truss too far apart to save money. 6 to 8 foot versus 3 to 4 foot. Low grade truss plates why it matters. A weak roof leads to sagging and collapsing, especially in the snow. That's 100% right. Our competitors, folks, does not use a two 2x12 headers that their trusses sit on. We're the only ones that do that. They use 2x8 headers. That's very important. We want you to understand and look for that, you know, because this could happen to you, okay? Look out for low quality fasteners and screws. A lot of people still use nails. A lot of people don't use lifetime Zac screws, which we do. What to look for? Cheap buildings use generic non-rust resistant screws. Why does that matter? Screws can rust and pop over time, leading to leaks. Poor fasteners can weaken under stress, compromising structure integrity. So, folks, this is all very important, you know, because you want to use the Zac screw, lifetime screws. It's going to cover that, that washer where the sun can't dry it out and it get brittle, okay? That's one aspect of it. If they use non-dry killed lumber, it could push that. Let's just assume that our competitors use lifetime screws that cover up the washer. Let's assume that. We know that they don't use dry killed lumber, okay? So what's going to happen is it's going to actually push that screw out, and that gasket is going to flare out, and the sun's going to dry it and get brittle, and you could have leaks. This is what's important, and this is what I'm trying to explain to you. We do it right here at Mallett. You can trust that, okay? I just went over that, okay? And here it is. We use ollie log screws, wood screws, and lifetime Zac screws. And we have inspectors that go out and make sure that that's being done correctly per our engineer stamp drawings. Our builders know that we're coming behind them, and we're going to check every single truss to make sure that it was put on up according to our process, okay? Look out for no warranties and hidden fees. If a contractor won't provide a clear warranty, it's a red flag. Hidden charges for instant failure like bracing, installation, or permits. Why does that matter? A lack of warranty means they don't stand behind their work. Tip, always get a detailed, itemized quote and contract. This is true. You know, we see competitors' quotes from time to time because people are doing their due diligence and they want to come to the best. So we get to look at that. We point out to them that, you know, they're just so vague on their quote. They don't give them any backing. Nothing's clear. You know, we actually had a customer that came down, they had a quote, and then when they went to go sign the contract with our competitors, nothing was like that. Be aware of that, folks. Be aware of that. That's why we put everything in our contract. We want to cover, that's to cover you, and that's to cover us. We spill it out. A lot of people say, man, that contract took me 45 minutes to go through. We want to make sure that you understand the whole process. We don't want to leave anything out. There's no smoke and mirrors when we're finished with you. Now, you may forget some of the things. We've come across that, but we go through everything in our contract, okay? Like, for instance, when we erect your building, we're going to come in and we're going to do an inspection, and we're going to calculate how much sand you need. In our contract, we tell you that. We tell you that you will have to purchase the sand when we tell you how much it is. But we cover it. Sometimes you may forget it. But the bottom line is, what I want to tell you is, we cover everything. We try to be very transparent with you from the time you sign the contract to the time you finish your building. All right, Mallett Buildings, we do it right. Pressure treated wood for ground contact, deep set posts. I showed you how deep we went in the post. I showed you that we measured our posts. I showed you all that. Set in concrete with post protectors. Heavy duty engineered truss. We engineer our own truss. We build our own truss. We got a quality control person right here looking at every truss that we build, every single one of them, okay? That's very important, folks. We know what we're putting into your product. Our competitors are buying their product somewhere. And I know that where they're buying it from, most of the time, their truss aren't treated lumber. It's all yellow wood, okay? Red flags, folks. How many years in business? Doesn't it make sense to know how many years somebody's been in business? Doesn't it make sense to figure out or find out, ask the question, if they have the proper licensure, like business license and contractor's license? It makes sense to me, okay? So that could be a red flag. Find out if they have any contractor violation. That could be a red flag. Most of our competitors do, folks. Most of them all have violations, okay? Reviews on the BBB. Find out if they have any, okay? Visit their contractor facility. We want you to come here. Doesn't it make sense that if their office is the inside of their truck and you look in the back seat and it's all unorganized and tools everywhere and toolboxes open, that's kind of what you can expect to get with them building your building. That may be a red flag. That's all we're saying here. Now, if she, just like this person, she got hurt. All these guys, red flags. Precision Metal, we talked about him yesterday, had a business license from 2019, a business license, but he didn't get his contractor license till a month ago. That's a red flag, folks. No accredited with the BBB. Scorecard, Southern Style, F. Rob Built, F. Precision, who we just talked about, F. Ranger Buildings, F. Beck, F. Fortified, F. Apache, F. Branded Buildings, F. RJM, F. Southern Quality, F. Only people up here with 100% is us here at Mallett. Why? 26 years of business. We are constantly improving our processes. We're not just riding the coattails of something we did 10 years ago, something we did 2 years ago. We are constantly improving to be the very best in our area, in our zone, and we have done that, and we are the best, okay? Now, let's go over our specials one more time. You got a 30 by 50 by 12 for $43,998. You got a 40 by 50 by 12 for $53,950. You got a 40 by 60 by 12 for $61,598. Elite package. All the bells and whistles are in this package, folks. The best you can get right here. Now, we'll beat anybody's deal by $1,000. Bring in those quotes, we'll beat it. It's not going to be apples to apples, but we say it is. It's like a gold apple to a red apple, okay? Why? Because they just don't do what we do. We're best. We are the best. We put the best quality in there. I just showed you a lot of the things that we do. The best part is you get all the backing that we've had. 26 years in business, licensed engineered firm here. You know, we got our own electricians on staff. We got engineers on staff. We design all the buildings. We have no third party in that. Soon we will have our own roll form plant where we won't be relying on getting that from somebody else, okay? Use our spec sheets. Everything I just talked to you about is in our spec sheet. You can use this to go against the competition. This kind of outlines what questions to ask. If they say treated lumber to you, you say, what kind of treated lumber? Make them spell it out for you. Number one, kiln-dried lumber is what you're looking for, folks, okay? If they say, yes, we're going to put 4-inch concrete, because that's normally what they say, 4-inch concrete. So they're going to say 4-inch concrete. We say, we spell it out. We give you 4,000 PSI. We put microfiber in that. What does that mean? We're making it that much better, that much stronger. They're not going to do that because it costs more money to do that. It costs $30, $40 more a yard to do what I'm telling you to do. They're not going to do that. Okay, so if you want to go into a building, just tell our building specialist where you are. They'll set it up with some of our ambassadors, and then they will invite you to go see it, and you can talk to them, walk in their building, and see how their experience is with us. All right, that's our show today, folks. We appreciate your business. We'll see you tomorrow.